Good Yontif. In his masterpiece, Making Lost Matter, Rabbi David Wolpe writes about the orchestras who played at Auschwitz. The musicians knew death intimately. The stench of death surrounded them. Still, they created beauty amid destruction because they knew that to believe in the possibility of wonder, of music, of radiance, was what kept them human. We know death. We know death intimately. We know loss. We feel the kinship of pain and sadness. We feel empathy for others who have loved and lost, just like us. We come together at this time of year, in this virtual space, and we try to embrace one another, to cling to our lifelines, our precious lifelines of hope. Hope that we can remember the lives and legacies of our mothers and our fathers, our children, others who have died. And together we summon hope. The hope that we can do honor to the memories of those we love. We hope that we can make our losses matter. Indeed, Yizkor provides such hope, such opportunity, such responsibility. Yizkor, a service of memory during these waning moments of Yom Kippur. Our moment together in time is about those we remember. But it's in the context of memory that we remind ourselves. We remind ourselves of the humanity of those for whom we grieve. We embrace our own menschlichkeit. We are like those musicians creating beauty in the brokenness of life. We are like those believers investing our faith in the possibility of the wonder and music and radiance that made those we remember so special. Death does not have a specific purpose, really. Death happens. It's part of life. Of course, this fact doesn't make loss less painful. And it goes without saying, given our druthers, we would rather witness death's necessity at the end of a long, long life, and never short of that. That being said, death does teach us something valuable about who we really are and who our loved ones, now gone, still remain. In the words of Rabbi Wolpe, our humanity is expressed most fully when we stake our souls in life, knowing that there is death. We love even though we know that the beloved cannot live forever. We create although we realize that all creation will decay. To be fully human is to stand before death, not ignoring it, but not allowing it to undermine the meaning of the time we are given. Why then does some of our greatest creative potential in life find its ultimate expression in the inevitability of life's end? What is it about death that motivates us to embrace life in such a meaningful way, to fill our days with a sense of responsibility and a commitment to caring, to make our lives and our losses matter? Psychiatrist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross reflects on such questions. It's only when we truly know and understand that we have a limited time on earth and that we have no way of knowing when our time is up that we will then begin to live each day to its fullest. as if it was the only one we had. And our old Siddur, Gates of Prayer, meditates on these vital queries as well. Judaism teaches us to understand death as part of the divine pattern. Mortality is the tax we pay for the privilege of love, thought, and creative work, the toll on the bridge of being from which the clods of earth and snow-peaked mountain summits are exempt. Just because we are human, we are prisoners of the years, yet that very prison is the room of discipline in which we, driven by the urgency of time, create. I pray that we never feel that our lives are a prison, but the truth is our lives are relatively short, and the years which seem to go by fast so often find a way to enclose themselves upon us. I believe this so-called prison of our years does provide the space in time and the spirit with which we, driven by the rush of time, act creatively and make a difference in our lives. Perhaps we can draw from the enduring wisdom of our own Rabbi Felix Levy, who wrote the following for Yizkor of 5674, corresponding to the year 1914. This is perhaps Rabbi Levy's oldest surviving written sermon. Memory is the last gift of heaven, and it alone gives the other human qualities their last value. Memory is the last gift of heaven, and it alone gives the other human qualities their last value. Affection, love, sympathy, kindness, devotion, all are born of memory. The last thing that a person discovers are these eternal blessings. During the period of childhood, when life is being acquired, all is hidden from our eyes. Gratitude is scarcely known to the young. With the first affliction, however, we wake up and our blindness is removed by pain. The film of carelessness and responsibility is washed from our eyes by the tears of sorrow. From that moment, we love knowingly and love constantly. From that moment, we love consciously, willingly, and therefore feel our losses. Rabbi Levy called the memory a pilot who steers the book of life. I guess one has to be old enough, mature enough, and experienced enough to earn this special pilot's license. So while we can agree that the seemingly rapid passage of time places a premium on our fast-paced creativity during the sunset of our lives, we also know that loss transforms us, converts our naivete to wisdom, our innocence to awareness. Loss gives us a vision of what is most important about life, like living in connection with those we love constantly and consciously for whatever time we have left together. And then, having acquired the true blessings of such relationships, given the adversity that happens along the way, we find ourselves more grateful for such blessings. A practice of thanksgiving that has a way of enhancing the meaning and purpose of our lives. My grandmother's death signaled for my grandfather the imminence of his own passing. The Kaddish became my grandfather's creed. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash. For the rest of his life, these ancient and hallowed words of mourning became symbolic of his sacred promise to carry out his responsibilities as a Jew. The responsibility to lay claim to his heritage, the responsibility to reach for God, the responsibility to educate his family, the responsibility to fulfill whatever Jewish duty he could in his life remaining. I remember this period at the end of my grandfather's life to be very creative. It is said the Kaddish is the living consciousness of our obligation to add the Jewish assets acquired by those generations before us to those who live on after us in order to save God for the world. Now, creativity does not always require of us such profound change and impact. The creativity we evoke can be expressed very simply and practically, even joyfully. For example, I spoke with a dear woman about the death of her beloved mother. Apparently, her mom was a crackerjack player at mahjong. And to honor her mother's memory, she learned how to play. A simple, life-affirming, creative goal that will bring to life a daughter's memory of her mother each time she plays and enjoys a game her mother loved. Creativity can be fun, even as we remember those we lost. Yes, Chevre, we know death. We know death intimately. We know loss. We know how important it is to hope, and we know that we now can make our losses matter. May the eventuality of death inspire creativity and a difference made. May our memories uplift us and keep us looking forward, even as sadness remains in our hearts. And may the hope we possess help us remember the music and the light and the wonder of those now dead. May our memories of their Menschlichkeit pilot us toward a greater spirit of gratitude for our own humanity and the blessings therein. Zichronam levracha. May the memories of those we remember today always be for a blessing. Amen.
Taken an oath to remember Eli, Eli, שלא ייגמר לעולם. החול והים, רשרוש של המים, ברק השמיים, תפילת האדם. החול והים, רשרוש של המים, ברק השמיים, תפילת האדם. Oh God, my God, I pray that these things never end. The sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the hearts.
Shiviti Adonai lenegdi tamid ki mimini v'aimot lachen samach libi v'yagel kvodi af besari yishkon lavetach ki lo לא תיתן חסכיתך לרשעת, תודיעני אורח חיים, אורח חיים. סובה שמחות את פניך, נעימות במנחה נצח. שביתי אדוני לנגדי תמיד, כי מימיני בא
Stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though the time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we leave our days. These are the ways we remember, as we leave שאורם מגיע ארצה. רק אשר הם עצמם עבדו ואינם. יש אנשים שזיו זכרם מאיר, כאשר הם עצמם אינם. בודו בתוכנו, אורות עליהם מבהיקים, בחשכת הליל. הם שמראים לאדם את הדרך, את הדרך. הם שמראים לאדם את הדרך, את הדרך. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember. We remember. We remember.
אל מלא רחמים, שוכן שוכן במרומים, המסר מנוחה נכונה, תחת כנפי חשינה. קדושים וטהורים, כזוהר רקיע מזהירים לנשמר יקרנו, שחרחו לעולמם. הרחמים יסתירם בסתק כנפיו לעולמים, ביצרור החיים את נשמתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום, בשלום על משכבם. ונאמר
As we read the following names for Yizkor, please share any additional names to the chat of people lost to our community in the previous year. Noreen Alper, Donna Lee Altman, Philip Arndt, James Bell, Judd Bergman, Edith Burju, Senator Arthur L. Berman, Tanya Berman Barliant,
Dan Bracker, Carolyn Byron, John Tremaine Clay, Betty Cohen,
Charles Joseph Cole, John R. Comp, Bertha G. Dolton, Kenneth Dombeck, Charlotte Dubin, Beverly Falstein, Opal Floyd, Freddie Garcia,
Beverly Getzenberg, Joseph Golner, Brian Goodman, William Gross, Eddie Hazen, Larry Heyman, John Jamillo, Irene Kogan,
Joanne Kratchman, Professor Sheldon Liebman, Floyd Manilow, James McCreary,
Albert Miller, Gwen Miller, Margaret Mine, Michael O'Connor, Eugene Pavillon, Jordan Rosenberg, Elaine Ruda, Betty Rudolph.
Keely Shenwar, Marilyn Nelson Schiff, Junior Alan Simpson, Michael Peter Smith, Rabbi Adine Steinsaltz, Charlie Sullivan, Estelle Shavitz, Alan Tellisman, Camille Tracer, Jean Tuber, Sharon Vadabunker, Barbara Urbanska Yeager, Alan Wagner, Emil Robacek Roby Wayne.
We rise in body and or spirit and or as is your custom for the Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye decho beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uv'izman kariv ve'emru amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam olmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudsha brichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma ve'meru amen. Yehe shlama Rabba min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'meru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'meru amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say, Amen.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah. Ba'alma divrach yiruteh בחייכון ובמכון ובחי בכל בית ישראל. וישתבח ופעל ורומם ונשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלש מדקודשה בריחו לאלה ולאלה מנקו ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן מעלמה ואמרו
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufia gita hilatecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Omer Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher chasdei avot v'imachot, u'mevii geula livnei v'neihem, lema'an shemo be'ahava.
זוכרנו לחיים, מלך חפץ בחיים, וכותבנו בספר החיים, למענך אלוהים חיים. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אל הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
אבינו מלכנו, חוננו ועננו, אבינו חוננו ועננו, כי אין בנו מעשים. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד, והושיענו. אבינו מלכנו, חוננו ועננו. אבינו מלכנו, חוננו ועננו, כי אין בנו מעשים. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. אדוני הוא האלוהים, 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 אדוני הוא האלוהים. תקיעה גדולה